out of the show area. So departures will be made farther show left than center so that they can all drift back. You can visit the Air Force recruiters on site today. Recruiters from the Air National Guard, the Army, and the Navy are on site, ready and willing to answer your questions. Ladies and gentlemen, you just saw a very, very special airplane take off. At the controls is a former Marine. His name is Nalls. He has flown Harriers for the Marine Corps for many, many years. And for those of you who looked at the aircraft and said, oh, there's a Harrier. Well, yes, sort of. It's not your Marine Corps AV-8B Harrier. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the only civilian-owned Royal Navy Sea Harrier in the world, and it's here at Langley today. Nalls owns it, and Nalls is flying it. Take a look. Get your cameras ready, because I think this is only about the third air show in which he's performed in this British version of the Harrier. Experimenting with vectored thrust, but right now here's Tor with miles on top. Gotta love this. Vectored thrust is a technique that was perfected by Hawker aircraft in Great Britain along with the ability to redirect the thrust of the engine to get a number of spare parts as well. He's going to bring it around and do the dance for you. Air combat. This is going to get very noisy, and I'm going to stop talking when he's in front of us. But know that the redirected thrust, that vector thrust under the airplane, plus jet thrust, air thrusters in the nose, the tail, and the wings are going to enable Nalls to maneuver this aircraft into a hover. This is one of the very first times he's hovered this aircraft in an air show. So this is very, very rare and very impressive. Here we go, with a 21,000-pound thrust, Rolls-Royce Pegasus engine, slowing down to 60 miles an hour. Here's the original Kestrel aircraft back in 1960 had a 10,000-pound of thrust Rolls-Royce Pegasus engine. If you look carefully, you can see the nozzles, the bleed air nozzles just in front of the wings, and the jet nozzles, the exhaust nozzles, just behind the wing. It's got huge intakes because it's got to suck in a lot of air to make it work. Now this is a day that I'm not sure if he's going to be able to do a vertical takeoff because of a couple of things. It's a very hot day. Number two, there is a water system that allows them to put 50 imperial gallons of distilled water into the aircraft to inject that into the engine to cool the engine temperatures and allow the engine to develop more thrust. Unfortunately, that water system is not functional right now in the aircraft. Let's see where he's going to go. He's going to spool it up. Let's see if he's going to get a rolling takeoff or he's going to go straight vertical. He's pointed into the wind, so he could potentially do a vertical takeoff. Yes! Is a graduate of the United States Air Force's Test Pilot School. He Northern Virginia, flying the only personally owned Royal Navy Sea Harrier in the world. After a successful tour in Harriers and working at the Test Pilot School, he had the opportunity to fly and evaluate a lot of aircraft, tactical support and transport aircraft. We ran fixed to the bow of an aircraft carrier to provide dramatic increase in carrier takeoff performance. The second flight test, he had a hydraulic leak and couldn't get the nose gear down. So he had to go to Naval Air Station to Customs River and land at an area there where he'd be safe. I think it's the story. And there you have Art Nalls, the world's only privately owned Sea Harrier. On that second flight, when main gear on the rear, on that bicycle landing gear with the outriggers, and then the nose came down and it looked very smooth when it touched down from the video. He said to me that he felt like he was in a steel office chair dropped 6 feet on the concrete. He was afraid the ejection seat would blow. He didn't. He was afraid he'd broken his back and he wiggled his toes and could, so he figured it was all right. He figured he better shut the engine down. So we got it shut down, and there we go. Now, I just heard, okay, a rolling vertical or vertical? Okay, another vertical takeoff. We're getting to see a great show. This is stupendous. You'll hear, now the engine temperatures have cooled. Now he spools it up, gets a little light on the wheels, he gets things ready to go, and then the throttle comes forward, and then on his left hand he also has another lever to change the direction of the nozzle. Straight up he goes! Ladies and gentlemen, you are looking at one happy guy right now. Art Nalls is smiling under his oxygen mask like a little kid. There are forums about your favorite performers. You can post your photographs, review the show on your own. We'd love to have you at airshowbuzz.com. We'd love to have you be a